Hey folks, this is Syntax over at Naos. I'd like to thank you all for once again joining me for a launch screencast. This is probably the most important one to date because Neos is finally, after 7 months, where I consider where it should be. Everything for the past 7 months of development has been working towards the point we're at right now, and I'm very happy about that. With that being said, it's pretty important to pay attention to a few key details throughout the screencast. I'll point them out. First and foremost, when you run the launcher, it's going to say that there's an update available, and you definitely want to click no. The reason is that the servers that dictate what versions are current have not been updated yet, intentionally to allow the people that are running older versions to, sufficiently back up their wallets. And that's a screencast I'll be creating after this one to demonstrate exactly the best way to back up your wallet and import it. So with that being said, we have a fair bit of ground to cover, and I'd like to just jump right into it. And we have two machines open right here. First is an OS X Yosemite machine. This is a Debian 64-bit install. And that's because we'll need two machines to demonstrate some of the features of the new wallet. And this is exactly what I was just referring to. The launcher prompting you to download. Do not do this. It will grab an older version of both. Go over here and click Start. And for those familiar, you'll notice that it is completely different now. It is a web-based or a browser-based installation. We'll go ahead and fire this one off as well. And once it completes, it will automatically send you over to the login screen. There is no loading image because, there's no real point in it per se, as it's pretty quick. And as you can see, we have a fresh wallet. And the first place we'll go to is our settings, but for demonstration purposes, I want to do that over here. And again, these are those prompts. Click no on both. I'd like to also emphasize that the interface password for your platform is completely separate from your wallet passphrase. It's very important. For one, it's an additional layer of security. For another, it's not really best to use a wallet passphrase for authentication, only when necessary, such as sending funds. The less you type your wallet passphrase, the better. So as you can see, we're logged in here. Now I'll go over to settings. This is the first thing you should do once you open this up, is enter your email address. Click Set or Update. Not too long after, you should receive an email. And now you're verified. The next thing is set a PIN. And the reason for that is in the event that your laptop, computer, device, or wallet is stolen, to validate your identity so that we can help you without helping a thief circumvent the system. This one-time PIN it's just set there as a deterrent really afterwards, just something to keep somebody busy, and I'll explain that shortly. We'll be able to, without a doubt, identify you as the owner of this installation and help you. So with that being said, what I'm going to do now is log out, log in with a bad password intentionally, and as you can see, with a bad password, we have all these balances showing. And the reason for that is simple. If somebody just logged into your wallet or tried to, we want to keep them busy with as realistic of an experience as possible. And this is our decoy subsystem. So we're going to go ahead and proceed. I'm going to log out here. Actually, yeah, I'll log out real quick. Log in with a valid password. And circle back to our settings. So as you can see further down, we have our 2FA set up. Just grab your phone with Google Auth on it, scan that. It's going to give you a code. Enter that here, click verify. Scroll down and click save. And now it'll be protected with 2FA. Your wallet passphrase over here, it had been requested that we validate they match for obvious reasons. Typos happen. So right here we have our wallet passphrase with validation. Once you set it, you're going to have to restart. So you're going to go back over to your launcher, click stop, and start again. That's pretty typical with all systems. Once you set a passphrase, because it has to rebuild the wallet encrypted. And here you have your standard options, your automatic backups, your displays for the different exchanges and so forth, your key info so that you can trade actively on the platform, and your pool information down here. So we're going to go ahead and log out. Hit stop. And go over to here. And I'm going to show you guys something that I've been working on. So the reason we've done that is going to become clear momentarily. So let me build the scenario for you. Right here we have, let's say, your wallet. Somebody breaks into your Mac and steals your wallet.dat. Somebody sends you a wallet stealer and grabs a bunch of wallet.dats from different coins, scans and so forth, and uploads it. Later on, now the attacker, let's say this is the attacker's machine, he looks through his wallets. He looks through, let's say, Litecoin, he looks through Bitcoin, Doge, whatever wallet he managed to grab from you. The same with an exchange. Somebody hacks an exchange. They grab all of the wallets. Now what happens is they bring them back to the machine to go ahead, open up, disperse the funds, and there you have it. So they've gotten away with that, and it's gone on for far too long, to the point where it's really giving crypto a very bad name. We're making headlines in all the wrong places and for all the wrong reasons. So now the attacker went through his Litecoin wallet, killed all his Litecoin, dumped them, moved the market and so forth in a wrong way, not naturally, because these funds were sitting there legitimately either on your machine or in an exchange. So he dumped them out in an untimely fashion. Click no again. Click start. Now the reason that this brought us to the dash without a login is because our login settings. We have a 4-hour session. If you want to, explicitly say log me out, then what we're going to do is click up here to make sure we log out, or else, the time from the time you've logged in to the time now, it's going to hold logged in. So now this is the thief. He's looking at your wallet. He's logged in. Let's just say this is his interface, but your wallet. And now let's just say the thief beforehand, so that you couldn't find out and spend those funds or move them somewhere, he removed that because, that happens. So with our new system in place, and this works for OS X, Windows, Linux servers, what have you, protect exchanges, we now go to our email that we registered with NAOS. Security alert. It lets us know exactly where they are as best as we can with the current geo database. Now, the way that the daemon connects out doesn't give them an opportunity to use a proxy. The only time a proxy would be applied is if, let's say, they have it on their switch, or their router rather, and basically they're routing all their web traffic out through a proxy. That's not typical, but either way, we're going to get the date and time and their IP info, and as much info as we can, as close to the mark as possible. Where this comes in handy is, for example, we've seen many exchanges, far too many, and an abundance of people, because theft is prominent, saying, we need help finding the attacker. Well, now this is going to give you the information directly from the attacker's machine they're connecting out to or from. And what you do with that information is your choice. You can contact the ISP, you can contact the proxy service, subpoena them for information regarding, connections to that account that was assigned that IP during the session and so forth. The free proxy services, they're pretty compliant. So now we have this information, which is great, but now we're sitting there wallowing because our wallet's been gone. No, it hasn't. So not only will it give us more information about a thief, however, it will, from their machine, wherever they load their wallet, take that wallet and send it right back to you. So now we have our wallet, and this is on my home machine, not my virtual machine, but we would take our wallet file, which is our wallet.dat, we put it back here, restart our wallet, and before you know it, we're back in business. Now, in a situation where, let's say, this wallet was passphrased, then the thief would have no options to get to those funds, but he in turn also removed your option to get to those, or so we thought. So pretty much, this is something I like to call automatic theft recovery. This was designed in the event that theft should happen, not for just NAOS users, but for all of crypto. Because if somebody blindly pulls these wallets from an exchange's machine or somebody else's, they now have some information instead of sitting there, in shambles, which is ridiculous. This is not what crypto was built for. It was not built for people to thrive off of theft. And I will continue to do what I can to fine-tune this process. I have a few other techniques that I can employ, but I am waiting on some feedback from an attorney, thanks to a good friend in the crypto space. He has an attorney who's well-versed in both crypto and, common law and so forth. Like, they are very aggressive techniques. Once I'm given the thumbs up, I will go ahead and put them in there. And right now, the system as it is not mandated per se. I wanted to present this to the community as a whole and get some feedback. If they like what I'm doing, then I can definitely make it a mandatory thing with the wallets, where, unless you're connecting with a certain wallet and I handle it a certain way, that the wallet has to be this type, with these features. You won't be able to use the network, so it'll be pretty much pointless if you don't use what we give you in terms of this type of wallet. So anyhow, before I start to ramble, that was just one of the features that I've been working on. I know I've taken some time. It's just that this is something very important to me. I feel about crypto in a way that it's beyond words. It means a lot to me. The opportunities and potential it has, what it represents, it's just, like I said, beyond words. So, if I can do something to help the community, I'm definitely going to do it, because all I'm doing is sitting here coding every day anyhow. So, with that being said, something else about your installation. What I'm going to do here is quit out of this one. I'm going to reinstall and demonstrate another feature. Every installation is unique to itself. In other words, it can't be manipulated by somebody else's config or anything like that. And I'll show you what happens if that should be the case. So we're going to go ahead and go through the install process again. Mind you, over here, these files that I renamed to old install are there for a reason. That was a unique installation. And sometimes people, to try to circumvent systems, what they'll do is they'll simply copy their own config over, and they'll try to mess with yours. And this works for every single file. Every file in the installation is unique to you. So now we're going to go ahead and see our login screen. That takes forever on purpose. We're using Blowfish with 15 rounds of hashing. So we're looking at our dashboard here. And we can do it that way. So now we've just replaced the dashboard with, let's say, a malicious dashboard. Whoops. There's no way you can get this to run. I can assure you that. It's going to be evident. So now if somebody breaks in or tries to, through that method, and they say, well, okay, the hell with this guy, I'm going to steal his wallet. They take the wallet. We've already seen what happens there. So with 2.1, every effort's been made to lock this down as tightly as possible, just because in the end it's better for everybody if we just apply a little bit more foresight into the methods we use to secure these things. Because you know what, it's in the end of it, it's just going to be people, screaming at the top of their lungs, I've lost a lot of money because I was hacked. So if we can try to mitigate that somewhat and correct the situation, that's what we'll do. And now that we have the system in place, something like the marketplace is finally doable. So that's something I'd love to start jumping into. I've laid out the foundation for it about roughly a month ago, and continued on with development of 2.1. And we'll just go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and quit out of here. We'll go over here. Oh, before I continue, so let's just say you have a laptop. You've got all your wallets on it, and somebody comes along and steals your laptop. Now, before you know it, they're opening up your wallets because they know you're into crypto. They open up all your Litecoin, your Doge, your Bitcoin, whatever. They send it out to where they are. They see our wallet. They open it up. They're going to be outed, the same as I just showed you in the demonstration just a few moments ago. Not only will they be outed, but you'll get your wallet back, and wherever they're connecting from, wherever they get their internet from, you're going to know where they are. So within all hope, you can take that to whatever level you need to, alert the authorities, whatever, and get your laptop back or your device back. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate 2FA real quick. Everybody knows what it is, but just for demonstration purposes, we'll go ahead and move forward with that. So we're going to add a new entry, scan our barcode. Now what happens, like I said before, is we're going to get that code inside Google Auth, enter it and click verify. If it says success, great. Proceed to save your settings, log out, and now you're prompted for your 2FA. Now we've got a valid login coming. We'll log out and we'll show you what happens with an invalid password and valid 2FA. So you've got the decoy system here. So let's just say exactly what's happening here. We're going to click send. And you can see we've got fake balances here for the exchanges too. Like I said, this is all an effort to keep the thief busy. You're going to be notified. So we're going to withdraw, or they think they are, everything from Bittrex to your local wallet. Once they have it there, what was that balance? 88,227. Click send. Now they think they've just wiped you out. So again, they're going to think they're in your wallet. They're not. I'm going to try to keep this as condensed as possible, just even with the long talk before me being considered, and end it there. If anybody needs any help, any assistance, please feel free to contact me. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for their continued support throughout the past several months. I'm really fortunate to have not only a strong supportive community, but a very smart community, and their feedback and perspective has really enabled me to put my mind to the test and do some thinking and kind of materialize everything that has been discussed or thought, or create new ideas and bring those to fruition. So with that being said, I leave you with Nails 2.1, and I hope you guys are happy with it. Thank you very much.